Hare. All right. This meeting is recorded. So, dear devotees, we are now more than 1 week into 2025. And still we are hearing devotees and people saying about 2025 what will be, but it already is being. Krishna, Krishna. It already is being. And, oh my goodness. And this week we've been visiting and still are visiting devotees in Switzerland. And one very beautiful thing is wherever we are with devotees, we don't feel like we're in a different country or a different place. We just feel we're with the devotees, and it is another room of the beautiful Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat, and it is a room where all the mood is towards making offering, remembering, chanting, all of these things. And so we're actually with a family, with mum, 2 grown-up sons who are definitely grown up and big, young, healthy, happy youths, you can say, and daughter who also grown up, but young grown up. She's studying still. And so the family and the husband, he's Christian, and he every morning is listening to something in German, which is some kind of mass or something. And so I didn't ask, but I see that he's very serious in his Christian side and happily with the devotees, happily that the devotees are here. So he's, accommodating his wife and family's other line, if you like, means Krishna conscious line, but he's following nicely his Christian thing. Now, I didn't ask, is it that after meeting the devotees or after the family became devotees, is it that then he became more serious as a Christian? I don't know. But I've seen that happen, that families, that the wife or the husband, the parents, when one of their family becomes Krishna conscious, or into the Krishna conscious line, then they become more serious as a practitioner, looking to see, what is it that Jesus has given, or whatever their faith is, what is it that has been given by their traditional path of religious life, and they have become more sincere. Anyway, either case, it's inspiring to see this devotional mood in the whole house. And by the way, the house we're in is the residence of the monk before, the chief monk of the temple, or chief priest. And the priests, I believe, had to be monks in those days at least. And there's a big church just beside. So the place where we are in has a very good feeling about it. It's an old house from the 1600s, and with walls 1 meter thick, sometimes 1.5 meters thick. And I was also thinking, while chanting yesterday, I was thinking how many generations of birth and death this house has seen. And we asked a bit about the history. But in Europe, there are these buildings which date back to almost Mahaprabhu's time, certainly to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's time. And they were standing while in other parts of the world, Krishna consciousness was being presented by the great souls, by Mahaprabhu. There are places which are certainly from 1490, yes, 1500, when Mahaprabhu was on this, as it were, manifest on this earth. But this building is from 1630, I think, something like that. And it's even carved in stone. So it's not just a rumor, quite carved in stone on the building. So anyway, this is a little update from here, and being with the devotees, then of course we see their enthusiasm that they're not alone in this world. And Switzerland, it's quite a materialistic country, a lot of wealth, famous for its wealth. The fame of Switzerland, is not holy places, but it's of the vaults of people's vast wealth that they don't want their own government to know about, etc., etc. This is the fame of Switzerland, but it's a remarkably beautiful country. Their sons have been taking us out in the car, and our feet have been taking us out into the mountains, and we've been in the Swiss Alps and almost to a glacier. We walked, but we didn't quite go all the way to the glacier, but we fully could see the glacier, but we didn't actually touch it. It was a steep climb, and we thought we don't have anything to prove here. We've reached where we've reached, and then we turned around and came back, but very, very beautiful. And we have our Priyanana, who's back, by the way, in Tomsk, where it's minus a lot. And yesterday in the mountains, it was like minus a little, but still, my goodness, getting very cold nose and very cold teeth. I think it was -5, something like that. -5, -6 where we were. So heat, cold, happiness, distress, beauty of the world, the rarity of devotional service and devotional association, and the joy of being with like-minded devotees. Those who've got just a happy, joyous recognition that we've got guides who can take us out from this world and give us a proper direction in life, not a shallow enjoyment, not a shallow reprieve from temporary suffering, just covering over the necessities of our human life with our social standing, etc., etc. Instead, having some guidance to take us from this world where whether a king or a rickshaw driver, as Gurudev says, when they leave their body, they can be sitting on the branch of the same tree, looking at each other and saying, okay, now where are we going to go? Whether a king or a rickshaw driver. And I think all of you here know, more or less, that in India, the rickshaw driver is not given a high status in life in general, unless he's a Vaishnava rickshaw driver. Hare Krishna. All right, so that's a little introduction to where I am, and we're with the devotees from Vila Govinda, where 3 of us are here from Vila Govinda, and we're with family here. And from here, we're also reaching out to others, and we're discovering that there are more devotees in Switzerland. And it's hidden quietly, devotees almost hidden, quietly going on in devotional life. And this is also very good, very happy to know that actually devotees are everywhere. It's just they're a little bit hidden sometimes. All right, that's my beginning. And we got Brindavaneshri Devi Rasi with a Seva Rupidi, Rupanugru Kum Didi, and Aparajita Didi. We saw her just now, but she just turned off her camera. And we have Priyananda. Oh, I thought twice, but no. Aparajita, Hare Krishna. Are you still in Chiang Mai, in Meirim? Or are you back in the north of Thailand?
Yeah, I already back Dandawan Maharaj and everyone. Yeah, now I back to Chiang Dao, more northern in Thailand. Very nice spending some time New Year's in Govinda Farm. And here, actually, I also just discovered that one friend in the same retreat with me. He he also a devotee and studies scripture. And he just saw my Tulasi, uh, uh, my Tulasi necklace, and he was uh, talking about me, and we just discovered last night, and I'm very happy. Uh, so
You
happy
are
to
also
see everyone.
you are also finding that devotees are everywhere, and
Yes,
Krishna reveals them to us now and again, or where they are. Okay, wonderful. And our Vila Govinda crew, our Govinda farm crew, two of them, they're in Malaysia just now and visiting the devotees in Kuala Lumpur. Devotees we've known for many years. We'll come and hear from them in a short time if Leela Moy's got a connection. He was in the garden. I'm not sure. I don't see him here now. Okay. So we'll hear a little more later if they get a connection back. And get to catch up with about their association there together in Malaysia. In the meantime, we've got Kumkum Devidasi with us, and she's always got something in our pocket, back to basics. And we have a little start with any theme that you like from what we've discussed or what you like to introduce, Kumkum Devi.
My Dandavat Maharaj and all of the Vaishnavas here, how wonderful to be in this association. And there are so many things that we can bring. That wherever we look, there's always going to be drops of nectar, and they all connect with each other. And pursuing one line of this nectar, we may have a question, or we may just be following some thought. But we will find so many things by their grace, and we can look them up and see so many different books and videos online of our gurus explaining these things. One point I've been thinking of a lot since the beginning of the year is the connection between service and surrender. And so we are often hearing about either that we must render service, and we're also hearing that we must surrender. And actually, our line, they're always explaining to us that they go hand in hand. And so, for example, if we thought that service was simply the activities that we're doing, somebody asks us to wash the dishes. There's so many dishes or something that need to be washed. If we think that, okay, now I'm doing service, that's fine, that's everything. But we also will hear that we must surrender. And if we think that surrender means I came to my guru, I gave up my prior life, I took up the practices that my guru is asking, but then I'm going to sit and be comfortable or peaceful, that's also not what is recommended for us. It's not our guru's teachings. So this is an example of when they explain to us about how we want to serve in the mood of surrender, and we want to surrender with the pursuit of doing some service. So in Revealed Truth, in this chapter, Heart to Heart Transmission, Gurudev explains it like this. Someone has asked him about studying scripture, and he explains about how to approach the scripture. We are accustomed to going through different levels of a school. And then he says, we must be very conscious about reading the scriptures. The scriptures are not the easiest thing to understand. Srimad Bhagavad Gita explains how a student should approach a teacher to learn spiritual knowledge. Tad vidi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. And that is Gita 4:34. Here it is explained that a student must be a little qualified to approach a teacher. Srimad Bhagavad Gita says, first be surrendered, then inquire and serve. Your guru will want to hear your questions and bestow his mercy upon you if you are really surrendered to him, you are humble, and you have real hankering. First approach Gurudev through surrender, then serve him. Surrender alone is not sufficient. Surrendered service to Gurudev is the main thing that will give the sincere seeker the proper result in his search for transcendental knowledge. Someone may acquire general knowledge in other ways, but without pranipat, surrender, pariprasna, sincere inquiry, and seva, service, transcendental knowledge will not reveal itself in the heart. So this is our guidance. This is our path, and how we can make progress in understanding the scripture, understanding how all of the teachings apply in our lives today as we want to make progress.
And Seva has given that quote in the chat box if anyone wants to copy it out and ruminate on it later. And this is a very living presentation by Srila Gurudev of a verse in Bhagavad Gita, which readily we can say, readily we can repeat, but the life of the verse being drawn out and being shown by the life of the devoted, surrendered soul. And Srila Gurudev from the very beginning came to Guru Maharaj and surrendered, beginning with, "Can you follow me and not your mind?" as Srila Guru Maharaj said to him. And then again, oh my goodness. Okay, yes. This is the quote she's put in the chat box just now. I started to read it and then I lost my little thread I was about to say. Hare Krishna. It's all good. By the way, seeing Aparajita in Thailand, I was just thinking how the contrasts of nature, just to go back to my other point, the contrasts of the beauty of nature, how absolutely different. The glaciers, the mountains, the snow, all of that, and like that very vivid whiteness and recognition of life when there's almost no life around. And then the contrast of that with Thailand, which is just full of life everywhere and has another beauty. Then we have the seaside beauty, we have the desert beauty, we have all kinds of beauty in this world. But beauty, to see the beauty behind everything, and who is the beautiful origin? Krishna, reality, the beautiful. But anyway, that's not exactly the theme of surrender, except it's a reminder that who are we surrendering to? The representative, the messenger, the link with that reality, the beautiful, Sri Krishna. So Sri Guru, the spiritual master, is that link. And maybe Sri Guru in his grace, maybe it is revealed truth. And Srila Gurudev also says, but the Guru must be proper, must be a genuine Guru. And we've had devotees come from all sorts of places before they came to our Krishna consciousness. And some of them were heavily exploited in like horrible ways, criminal ways, you can say. I'm not talking about Krishna consciousness movement. I'm just talking about so-called gurus who come to the West and they're proclaiming this, that, and the other, getting followers and then absolutely misusing them, both physically and mentally and with their resources. And we've had devotees come from such backgrounds. So when we come across that properly connected line, that line which is really giving us Krishna consciousness and not bogus consciousness, then we must be extremely grateful, and that will give us even more impetus to surrender and serve, not surrender and lie down. Another famous quote by Srila Gurudev. So just to find Guru, then that we can find anywhere. And there are gurus that come to Italy where I think, if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me maybe, I think it's something like 700 euros, they'll give you a mantra and you'll have your guru. But, this kind of thing is going on everywhere. So we must also understand what is the qualification of guru, what is the hereditary, what is the connection. And in this world, it is rare to come across a genuine guru, a genuine disciple and a genuine guru. And when those two meet, then we can see what happens. Our example, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, coming to the feet of Srila Bhakti Rokko Krida Dev Goswami Maharaj. Our example of Srila Bhakti Rokko Krida Dev Goswami Maharaj, coming to the feet of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. These perfect examples. So the perfect guru and, oh dear, the perfect disciple. These two things, we will try our best. We will try our best and continue. Heart within, God overhead. And somebody was asking, a devotee was asking me about this phrase this week. And I said, just meditate on it. It's very sweet. It can't be literal, because we all know we have a heart inside us. It's pumping blood around the body. We all know God is overhead, or I mean, he's around somewhere. So overhead will do in the upper world. But it's a beautiful phrase. We heard it from Srila Guru Maharaj repeatedly. We shall go on, heart within, God overhead. Hare Krishna. And we did lose Leela Moy Prabhu, correct? Seems to be. I can't see him, but I'm on the little screen. The last row on the little screen doesn't actually have the names on the bottom. Let me just have a quick look. Devarupa. Okay, well, I think disappeared. So anyway, Leela Moy, he is with the devotees in Malaysia, who we've known since before they were devotees, for most of them. And we're very happy that they're able, as young devotees, to get the association of other older devotees, because all the older devotees have got some experience. And the devotees also have got not only experience, but they've had the association of Srila Guru Maharaj, been to Navadip. And the one devotee who really was very active to bring so many was Aprakrita Prabhu. And Aprakrita Prabhu, he passed away a few years ago. And he passed away. And when he passed away also, he thought he was going to die. He had some body difficulties and he was going to the hospital, because there's always the promise from the doctors that if you have this surgery, everything will be happy ever after. But he had some notion before that, oh, maybe I'm not going to make it through this one. And he told his family, he told them all as he's going to the hospital, is like his last expression was, if I do pass away, and I think I might, please do not cry. Instead, have kirtan. This was our sweet Aprakashapu. And he was a very capable person in the material world, but a very capable person in the family world, bringing up his family, and very capable in the devotional world as an example of do everything for Krishna, and what will be, will be. And Krishna took him home early. And the family said we did not cry, we did have kirtan. And then after he passed away, and they did the Shraddha ceremony with a long A in the middle after 10 days, then practically every devotee in Malaysia came for that celebration. And devotees who, you know how devotees do slip into the background over time, maybe slip into the background over time, but from all over the country, devotees came in honor of him. So that's where our Jai Gauranga Prabhu and Leela Moy from the farm, Govinda farm, they've gone there for a week or so, I think, to Malaysia. And the children who did not exist when we first knew them, the children now are grown up with their own children. And they also a wonderful example. There is one devotee there called Nakul, and Nakul was Srila Gurudev's servitor and cook also, and very sweet devotee. Then sweet devotee now, and very good association, and he's also there. They're all working, of course, so during the day, I hope our brahmacharis are making themselves useful. Oh, and in fact, I should contact them, because Malaysia, you can go to, even today, I mean, all the time, you can go to door with books. The old-fashioned way of preaching before the internet was to meet people, encourage them to take a book or a leaflet or something, encourage them to give a donation, and that donation, we always looked after very carefully every cent that came, and that we'd send every month a donation to Guru Maharaj in Navadip, and everything else coming for the temple seva. That way, who we're meeting, they're getting Sukriti. We are not, I mean, we were just brought up that way. There's nothing like a percentage. I remember a devotee saying, oh, you should keep a percentage for yourself. This was in the former place. He said, you're foolish if you don't keep a percentage for yourself. Well, I was so foolish in my ISKCON days that I didn't keep a percentage for myself, but I did go to the bank and withdraw, because at that time I had a bank account, and I withdraw some money to try to make my collection from the public look less embarrassing. My ego was there. Hare Krishna. So we do have in our society some of the world's top book distributors. We have in our society some of the world's worst book distributors. I know. Hare Krishna. Jose, happy to have you with us from Salt Lake City.
Dandavad Maharaj and all dear devotees.
And about you're in a beautiful gathering of devotees, Jose. More and more examples of devotion to see. In Salt Lake City, you're very rich with devotee association. And around the world, very, very rich with devotee association. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, if we are to find them all. So many sincere devotees in the world.
Yes, and here in Salt Lake City, the devotees are very merciful. Right now they're still reading the Bhagavad Gita, the chapter 7.
Chapter 7. What is the theme of chapter 7? Who can say? Silence. I also can't immediately say. I have to have a quick look somewhere. Can you say one thing you've learned this morning, or heard this morning, Jose? But you have to turn on your microphone. Turn on your microphone. Click.
Thank you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to remember, because it's something that is really easy to forget. We were learning the three Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, the three types of realization. And within that, the three different potencies of the Lord, which is the internal, the external, and the marginal. So I was learning that we are jivas, and we come from the marginal potency of the Lord, and we have a free will, and we can choose. So the reason why we're here in the external potency or illusion is because we chose to exploit the environment. That's what I remember, Maharaj.
All right, and we just had a little pop-up on the window. I'm not sure whose pop-up it was. It says, Knowledge of the Absolute is the chapter title. So whoever that was who popped up a message on the screen, thank you very much. Or Seva Rupa, I see. She's accepting the credit humbly.
No. It is from Amarinda Bar. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Amarinda Bar sent us this from Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, Amarinder is Amarinder, I think. He's here with us. Anyway, welcome. I don't see you, but we're happy to know that you're with us. And by the way, I don't have two connections today. We're in, as you know, we're in a home, so I can't see who is on Facebook. But for those who are on Facebook, then our obeisances too, and those who are seeing the recorded version, it's all live in one sense. It's there. It's there recorded in the ether, whether it's recorded in the Zoom or not. It's all recorded what's being said, but we're happy to have you all with us on Facebook, on Zoom, and in the recorded version. Hare Krishna. And Sevarupadiri, a contribution from you. I know you are always ready with a contribution.
That's Maharaj, Dandavats, dear devotees. I just, when you were speaking about revealed truth and Kumkum Diri's share, then I have posted just a little bit under that contribution is when a student is a little qualified in this way. So this is about finding a genuine spiritual master and a genuine devotee. So from revealed truth, just when a student is a little qualified in this way and finds a guru who is a qualified teacher, the student must surrender to him, ask him questions, and serve him. Everything will be revealed in the heart of the qualified, sincere seeker by the qualified guru when the disciple is enriched with these three qualities of surrender, inquiry, and service, enriched with a mood of devotion. When that mood is present, everything will be set right. The guru's heart will be melted by the student's sincere approach, and the guru will be ready to teach the student. By this process, the student will understand, through the melted heart of his guru, the essence of all the scriptures, everything that is to be found within the Vedas, Vedanta, Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the other scriptures. This is how we should try to learn the scriptures. And that was the insert.
Beautiful. This is the natural presentation of Guru Maharaj. And of Srila Gurudev, which is of Srila Guru Maharaj, of course. But this is Srila Gurudev speaking. But you see, Gurudev's presentation is all natural. Everything is from the heart. And we are told always, and by him, it's all heart-to-heart transaction. It's not repeating this verse, that verse for the sake of repeating a verse or two. It is communication. Hare Krishna, heart-to-heart communication. Jai. So this is probably the part that I was also thinking of. There may be another part as well, but it's okay. You don't have to go searching for it. I know you're looking through, searching various things there. But there may be another part too, with some similar kind of expression there within revealed truth or elsewhere. By the way, I mean, there are also very wonderful articles which have been presented on premadharma.org and gaudiyadarshan.org or .com, I don't remember. But there are other beautiful articles which have been translated from written articles by Srila Gurudev and by Srila Guru Maharaj, which aren't as yet put into book form. They were in the magazine form, but they're not yet put into book form. So there are, but from the right source, from Prema Dharma and from Gaudiya Darshan, those websites we can go to, and we'll get things from the right source. And in the time of Srila Gurudev, by the way, some other persons did make books with Srila B.R. Sridhar Maharaj as the author. Gurudev did not accept them because those who were giving, they ignore Guru Maharaj's directive and instruction, which was about Srila Govinda Maharaj. And so Srila Gurudev is not being egotistic. It's just we should hear everything we should hear from the right source, the faithful source. And so Gurudev did not acknowledge those publications and accept that, yes, this is correct. No, we'll hear from the right source. So it's a fine, Krishna consciousness is a fine thing as well as a broad thing. And Krishna consciousness in the line of Guru Maharaj, really it is fine. And this is why we are always encouraging devotees. Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Stay safe, be happy, don't go anywhere else. And what is approved by Gurudev, that we accept. What is not approved by Gurudev, we give honor from a distance. We're not here to judge, we're not here for anything. As Gurudev says, that he said, I am not judging who is this, who is that. I know my Guru Maharaj, and I'm only judging myself. This way, that we are to look at ourselves. So when we have good fortune, we must keep that good fortune safely, like a valuable jewel. Hare Krishna. Sorry, I'm just clicking on the little screen. Yes, any question or contribution from any good soul here? Or you're all going to say, I'm not a good soul. I don't have, I haven't been asked. Vrindavaneshwari, good.
I'm gonna try to have to contribute how to share.
Yes,
But I
perfect.
think I'm gonna need that our dear Sevarupa Didi help me to find in English, because I only have in Portuguese the meaning of this 3.17. Okay, because I'm not gonna do a good translation. So because I just read it in Portuguese. And I can say that today I was inspired because in our across our reading from the Prapana Jivanamrita, we read just today in this morning my favorite verse, and I saw that Dana Kay mentions about her favorite verse from Bhagavad Gita. So I remember about this morning my favorite verse on Prapana Jivanamrita across my morning just today, and which is that Sevarupa I think is gonna to
You
put
can
here.
first say it in Portuguese, Vrindavaneshwari. You tell us
But
in Portuguese, then
I'm
it'll
gonna
have
say in
your heart
Portuguese.
with it.
Okay, but just to for everybody here know here in your language, I read in English. But then after we met here at the institute in personal to read Srimad Bhagavatam, and Vaishnava Prabhu read and talked about incredible things, but I don't know which chant, which volume he picked, he chose today. I don't know, but it was incredible, and so it was a morning submerged in Krishna consciousness. But if you want to hear in Portuguese, I can do that.
Yes,
It
please, yes.
is uma aspiração sincera de alcançar a perfeição no serviço devocional. Quando é que florescerei numa vida de servidão como teu devoto eterno, com meu coração pacificado devido a todos os outros desejos terem sido consumidos pela ocupação em teu serviço ininterrupto? Is a question, in fact.
All right, let us hear that also in English, and Sevarupa can read it for us kindly.
Dandavat, pranams. Thank you, Vrindaneshwari, Didi. So am I just correct? This is 3.17, accepting the favorable from Sri Prapanajivan Amritam. Yes. Okay, so sorry, I'm slow. I'm going to get there. So it's words of nectar from the devotee's acceptance of the favorable. I just want to go to page 35. Okay, so it's not a digital page 35. Just give me a few seconds. Okay, so that is chapter 3. And then I can
Krishna.
post it in the chat group as well.
But please let me listen with your voice, which is like
Okay.
I think the celeste beings talk like you you do.
So Sevarupa, please read. Yes.
So am I reading then? Okay, let me just see which part I'm reading. It is Sri Yamuna Acharya. Okay. So please, I must ask for your guidance. So I'm at chapter 3 now. It is words of nectar from the devotees. Anukulyasya Sankalpa, acceptance of the favorable. I'm not sure if I don't think I'm at the same place, but please guide me.
The verse number Vrindavaneshwari has given us.
Oh, is 17. Okay, I'm with you now. Thanks for that, Maharaj. Okay,
No
I'm
problem.
getting
No problem.
17. Okay, I get it now.
So please
Okay.
read. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So at verse 17, an earnest aspiration to achieve perfection in devotional service. When will I bloom in a life of servitude as your eternal devotee? My heart pacified due to all other desires being consumed by engagement in your interrupted service. And
By
that
your
is,
uninterrupted service.
yes, your uninterrupted service. Correct. So let me paste that in, Maharaj, then you can maybe just read it better than I am. I'm posting it now in the chat so everyone can.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
From Jamunacharya. Well, you've given us the Sanskrit. Okay, we got the English.
Thank you,
An
Didi.
earnest aspiration to achieve perfection in devotional service. And that's Srila Guru Maharaj's introduction to the verse as he gives these aphorisms before each verse or before most of the verses in the Shishi Prapana Jivanamritam. So Guru Maharaj is saying, an earnest aspiration to achieve perfection in devotional service. Yes, we want that. And then the verse from Jamunacharya. When will I bloom in a life of servitude as your eternal devotee? My heart pacified due to all other desires being consumed by engagement in your uninterrupted service. Yes, very beautiful. This is what you read today in Brazil, in Uberlandia, in the Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj, Govind Srila Govinda Maharaj Bhakti Yoga Institute, I
But
think
in
is the name.
the institute, we were reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. This
Oh,
lecture
that
was
was
about
Srimad Bhagavatam.
our deity lecture with Leela Shakti and Ananda Leela and the guys here from Brazil.
And Vaishnava Prabhu reading.
Vaishnava is the second part of my morning. Vaishnava was in this institute, Srimad Bhagavatam. And when
Yes.
we wake up, we do the Prapana Jivanamrita in my house, little chat together by the Zoom.
There you are. There's a good example for everybody. We wake up and then you have a Zoom with your family, I mean devotee family, and you're having Shri Shri Prapana Jivanamritam first thing. Vrindavaneshri, we are proud of you. Hare Krishna. Setting a good example for everyone. When we don't live in the temple, when we don't have that immediate association, when we wake up, open the door, etc., and then, oh, we're with devotees, then we should utilize this opportunity with Zoom, etc. So well done. And to do naturally, it's not a forced thing. We want that association first thing in the morning. Hare Krishna. And not only first thing in the morning, we want that association all the time. And Dana, we are very happy to see you. And I saw your name there before, and I'm always thinking, Dana, out there in Florida, all alone. Sometimes we almost have devotees who are able to meet with you. And the last one was Abhinava Sundar and Kelly Kadamba. But then suddenly their plans changed because they were in America when America suddenly canceled like hundreds of flights. And theirs was one of the flights that was canceled. And then they had to spend a lot of money because that flight, anyway, lots of things like that. But Dana, you're in our thoughts and happy to have you with us.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you with all my heart. And I love this group so much. And I'm just so grateful. And I can't wait to that day that I can just be in your presence, all of you. And thank you with all my heart for everything.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, from your heart. And Rupa Nuga Prabhu, I think, is back in Thailand or Bali by the looks of the background I saw a short while ago. Oh, now is looking different. Where are you, Rupa Nuga Prabhu?
I am at the Golden, paying my respects to the Golden Buddha in Bangkok.
Oh, that's why it looks dark. You're inside. Okay.
Yes, I'm inside.
The Golden Buddha in Bangkok. All respects to the Golden Buddha in Bangkok. Let us give our respect to Jai. Buddha, Krishna, Krishna's avatar, Buddha, given in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Buddha is coming as guru. He's coming as teacher. Teacher to show us how to behave in a civilized manner. And so, Gurudev, you all know, Gurudev appreciated Thailand so much. Which country is the best country in the world? And everybody's suggesting different things. And then Gurudev saying, Thailand, by far, so beautiful. And we are sitting there at his lotus feet when he's saying this. And in general, I learned quite a long time ago, if Gurudev asks a question like, okay, so which is the best country in the world? Then I generally learned a long time ago, it's better not to say anything. Just let Gurudev say which is the best country. Oh, similar questions. Gurudev will put these questions out there. He's already got the answer there in his mind. So it helps. Well, whether we can cover our foolishness in front of Gurudev, we can't. But in one sense, cover our foolishness. We don't say the wrong things. Hare Krishna, Krishna Priya, Priya. No, the Priya sisters. Krishna Priya, Priya Sundari. They're in Govinda farm. Very good. They joined us just now with 2 of their brahmacharis having run off to Malaysia for a week. Then they got so much more service to do. A speck of news from Govinda farm, devotionally speaking. Have you had any instance where you had to remember Krishna or Mahaprabhu suddenly this week? Open your microphone, click, let us hear.
Dhanawad Maharaj, Dhanawad all the devotees. So happy to see everyone. Okay. So
And
far,
what about-
Maharaj, we never fail on program. Every day keep going. Even don't have to brahmachari, we still going on, Maharaj. Everything maintained nicely under your guidance. We are like keep like pushing up ourselves to practice to be good practitioner for the Lord Krishna. This is by far I report to you, Maharaj.
You're doing all this under Gurudev and Guru Maharaj's guidance. They have shown us what we shall do, and you are doing nicely.
Yes,
Priya
Maharaj.
Sundari. Dandabad, beautiful Krishna Vediri. Priya Sundari.
I have been really loving the programs because we are not only singing the songs, but we have been reading the translation and going over each word so we can really understand everything that we are singing and chanting. So yesterday we read the whole Vandanam translation, and the day before we read page 211.
211.
Yeah. Anya something. Yeah, it's a very practical song. And we read word by word, so we understand everything, and it has been really helpful as a guidance and instructions. So yeah.
Well, long ago in Back to Basics, we did go through some of the important verses like Vandeham, and you will find Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalan, etc. Word by word. I don't know if you have that file, but it is there long ago on Back to Basics. And Leela Moy Prabhu can help you find it. There is a whole listing somewhere. And that is helpful because it does give the word by word. And then, as you say, it makes a whole difference when we recite the prayers and sing the songs, when we sing it knowing what we're singing. Beautiful.
Yes,
and there is a site called KK Songs. .org or .com, I'm not sure, but KKSONGS. And there is a section, some of the songs we sing, it does have the word-by-word translation there. And some of the Vandanam prayers you will get in Chaitanya Charitamrita with word-by-word. So you can find them in the Vedabase, vedabase.io. There you will find Vandeham Shri Guru, etc. Yes, that'll be probably easier than looking to the long ago in the past on back to basics. There we are. Sevarupa's given us. It's kksongs.org. O-R-G. Excellent.
Yeah.
And it's good for us all. Maybe one song a week. The shorter ones, if it's a longer song, it'll take a little longer to put every word in our consciousness. And if we choose the Bengali song, we'll find it's much easier than the Sanskrit. Sanskrit is not so easy to put it all together. The Bengali is more straightforward for us. And Mahaprabhu appeared in Bengal. We can say he has many reasons. By one activity, we know the Lord fulfills many purposes. But Mahaprabhu appeared in Bengal, where the language is very Sanskritish. It's very much like the Sanskrit in many ways, and expressive, subtle, all these things, but it's an easy language. And you don't have to be a genius to know some Bengali, and the language that you see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we need the translation. We can't skip the translation. Even when we think we know what we're saying, we should glance at the translation to make sure we got it right, because I know we often don't get it right. So we do need the translation, but when we can feel the words, it's quite different in the sense of a different level of feeling of the verse, because there's no other expression for Krishna prema than Krishna prema. No, love of God, yes, I mean, this is what we have, an ecstatic love of God, ecstasy, kind of, they have different sort of feeling, but the original words, they have so much feeling. And chamatkara, everyone who got any touch of Vila Govinda, they know. They learned at least one word in Bengali. And it's in Sanskrit too, where when we come across in Sanskrit, it's more difficult to figure out what's chamatkara. But in the Bengali, then something chamatkara. The minds of the devotees were astonished to see, like Balabhadra Bhattacharya, going through the Jharakanda forest with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was astonished to see the deers and the tiger and kissing. It even says, I checked the word by word in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's not just a alliteration of transliteration. It says, kissing lip to lip the tigers and the deer, and chanting, dancing with Mahaprabhu. And then Balabhadra Bhattacharya, Chamatkara, his mind absolutely astonished to see all of this taking place. And it's just has the word Chamatkara has just so much more feel to it than just astonished or amazed. Hare Krishna. So, a good example for us. We are getting examples from devotees today, you see. Examples of how to wake up in the morning and have a morning program with other devotees, just informally, but informally, automatically, I mean, happily. Not that it's a program we have to attend, an appointment. And then here we have another example of learning the meaning, feeling the meaning, catching the meaning of the songs we sing. And this is Gurudev. Srila Gurudev also, in another place, he's saying, and we've heard him say it in different ways, different times, that we shouldn't just be making a sound into the air. This is not kirtan. We should be feeling what we are singing. We are singing prayers. We are singing glorification. So well done, Govinda Farm, setting an example. Well done, Brazil, setting an example. Not only Brazil, Uberlandia. And by the way, I was a little bit remembering Uberlandia. I think Uberlandia, are you 2,000 meters high? A little bit high, maybe not 2,000 meters.
Don't ask me difficult questions. I don't know.
No.
I don't know the answer.
Anyway, a little bit high, and we notice the air is thinner. And yesterday, I was actually thinking of Uberlandia, and I was thinking of South Africa, Lenasia. That is over 2,000 meters high. And yesterday, we were walking, as I say, in the Swiss Alps, because we're in Switzerland with the devotees. And we were up over 2,500 meters going up to the glacier. And I have to say, I was thinking, is it me or is it the thin? Then I thought, no, maybe it's the thin air that are not usually like feeling lack of oxygen as we're going. But, we were walking up. And by the way, thin air and cold air, I have to say yesterday. And the glacier is blue, but we could only see the edge of the glacier because it's covered with snow, so you can't tell, because now everything's covered in snow. It's all snow. And so we were close to the glacier, but didn't just make that last part. Gave our respect to the glacier from a short distance. Hare Krishna. But I was thinking of the high, because Uberlandia is a little high, and Lenasia South, a little high also. And Sri Govinda Farm, all right. Jai. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundar Ju Ki Jai. All right, dear devotees, we've been chatting away. Oh yes, Uberlandia elevation 2,800 feet. What's a foot? Anyway, oh, I thought it was higher than that. Hare Krishna. And by the way, in Switzerland, there are lots of stars. Krishna puts lots of stars in the sky. Okay, anyway, this is a sideline. And who is there in Govinda farm? Ram Sundar. Is this Ram Sundar? Yes, it is Ram Sundar. Okay, I've got only a small thumbnail. So we still have one brahmachari left.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat. Look after each other.
Yes, yes,
Look
Maharaj,
after
we
each-
are.
I'm sure you are. And this is our devotional life. All of us to look after each other in devotional life. Go back as a team. All right, Kumkum Devirasi, heading all the devotees present here. My obeisances to you all, and Jai Shila Gurudev Shila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shila Guru Maharaj Shila Bhakti Rakha Kshira Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And Jai Bhagavan Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. And Shri Rupanuga Guru Bhaga ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinama Sankirtana ki Jai. And all the worldwide devotee association ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha. Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Jai
And
Srila
let us
Bhakti
all,
Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj
I was going
ki
to say, let
jai.
us all have that earnest aspiration to achieve perfection in devotional service. This is from Guru Maharaj and coming today to us through the hearts of the devotees. Let us have that earnest aspiration. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. Yes, we're seeing you. All Govinda Govinda. Take care of each other. Chant Hare Krishna. Be happy. See you soon. Govinda Govinda. Ami Ashchi.
Dandavat.
Dandavat Kumkum Didi, Dandavat Sevarupa, Dandavat.
Dandavats, Dandavats. So good to see you.
You
Oh.
too.